Hello, everybody, and welcome to the episode of Espresso 4.0. Today with us, we have a very special guest all the way from Brazil, Adriano Costa. We will be talking about challenges of connecting and implementing AI and all kinds of challenges that companies might have with integration of different systems, because Adriano is a foremost specialist on that. But without me actually telling you about Adriano, I'm going to let Adriano Costa introduce himself, his background, and what drives him in his business.
Okay, hello, Felipe, and Wizata. It's great to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation. As my name is Adriano Costa, I'm Innovex director, right? And I have been working with industrial software solutions since 2005, and specifically with connectivity software since 2012. In 2020, we opened Innovex to help professionals and their companies to look and find solutions to connect data from equipments, industrial systems, and IoT services.
Got it. Excellent. Excellent. So you are very well immersed when it comes to the question of digitalization and IoT equipment and connectivity. So to that end, I wanted to ask you, in your experience, what are the top 3 things a company must do to prepare for effective connectivity before deploying an AI solution, given the fact that that is a prerequisite for any AI application deployment?
Okay. Well, I think that companies need to respond to some questions before to start any projects, right? First of them, it's what is the challenge that to be solved with AI, right? Mm-hmm. There's many things that you can do with this technology today. So first thing is to respond that, and the second point in this question is what is the required data and the data flow, right? Because you need to respond to what the kind, if you will get the data from streaming or from historical data, and what's the flow, because you can get data from different data sources in the industry, right? So right. In the end, you can have the same effect. So this is important thing to check. A second thing is about security, right? You need to check security, data access, availability for the data, and also reliability requirements. Because in some points you can have I don't remember the right word, but you have the holes in the data, right? Mm-hmm. So you can be based in a thing that are not provide all data that you really need. And the last thing is about communication protocols, because you have many protocols available in industrial environment. Think that you have different controllers, different SCADA, different systems. So, and for sure, in the side of AI, you have control of protocols you can implement, right? So this is the side of the provider. But in the case of the industry, you need to know what protocols you have available, and also in the cloud.
Got it. Got it. You've actually, let's try to unpack everything you've said so far. I believe you started with saying you need to know your why you're even doing AI.
Exactly.
To know which data you need and where you're getting it from. Make sure that it is complete for what you're trying to achieve. Cybersecurity, and am I missing something else? And protocols, of course. So yeah, different protocols. And so I suppose as someone working in industry, you're a big fan of standardization when it comes to protocols across the entire shop floor. That makes sense. So let's build off of that. We'll get to cybersecurity a little bit later. I also want to talk about that. But before we get into it, could you discuss 1 or 2 of the most common challenges companies face when implementing connectivity solutions, and how they typically overcome them, or how do you help them overcome them?
Yeah. I think the first challenge, and most industries that I have been attending in Brazil and Latin America, it's about the internet connectivity, right? So thinking that IoT providers, I can spare in two categories, right? The solutions that can get the data directly from the existing systems, right? That get the data from POCs, from SCADA, from different data sources, and also the ones that are, let's think that one for database, right? Historical, like SQL or Postgre, or you can get this data, and the ones that implement their own sensors in the field, right? I have been many companies doing that because do it difficult to connect through the existing tools. So I think this is the first challenge. No internet available in the industrial network in order to connect with IoT services. So this is due to, I think, the security, data security, right? So do that is not something that a provider can change in a first moment. You need to, I'm gonna say, understand during the, in my thinking, it's that you need to understand during the why and the data flow. That's why the first suggestion, right?
Excellent. Okay, fair enough. So I'll kind of build off of that, and we can segue into the conversation about cybersecurity. So how do you convince companies to embrace cloud solutions despite the security concerns? And can you share a success story?
Yeah, usually I think that it's difficult to convince customers, right? In my opinion, it's because actually in my experience along these years, you need to talk with different people in the industry to get a solution implemented, right? Because decisions are coming from a process engineer, from production manager, from finance, from different areas. So it's difficult to convince. So I think that what I have been doing, I check the requirements. I build a solution trying to check the details of the requirements, as I said in the first questions, and try to show the pros and cons of different architectures to show the customer that he can choose different solutions. After that, I try to solve this is not possible always, right? So I try to offer a proof of concept with a solution in order customer to see the value. So in order with the proof of concept, the customer who we are going to say the sponsor of our talk with this industry, we try to show the value of this proof of concept in order another people in this decision can, okay, we can see this is a solution that work, or this attained our requirements in security, because usually people that not how to say see the things working and what is this? What is this? This is not attended. This is it's against our policy. So if people see the things working, I think maybe this is not easy for all the companies, right? Implement, do it distance or things. So I think in some case we establish some templates, right? Templates to solve basic things. So and after that, okay, I have experience with a steel company, or I don't know, a chemical company. You know the kind of issues or problems these companies have, and after that they how to say we can offer a template for this proof of concept, right?
I see what you mean. So you're basically productizing a type of service or product that you already delivered. You have success, and you say, "Hey, I have this product/service that I can do. It's proven to work. Let me prove to you, and then we can scale it up." Is that how you typically overcome it?
Because in the concerns of us security, the concerns of this solution, you can over many of these concerns showing the solution working, and how I'm gonna say, I'm not saying that this is easy, right? So I think that's a way to do it. Regarding the cases that you mentioned, I think was the second question, right?
Yeah, right.
We have different cases with software based in the cloud, right? With IoT, but I think the solution I can say that can reach different different developers of AI. I think would be the use of OPC. The name that you use is wrapper, right? Because let's think that usually I'm talking about streaming, right? When you get the data in real time from the shop floor, right?
Sure.
So in this way, let's think that you have different protocols. Usually many companies, they use OPC DA. It's based in DCON. So, but it's not so friendly to connect with different solutions in different levels so that's why we OPC is evolution. So, and there's a component that many companies have, that's wrapper. In the case, we are partner of Matricon, that has a Matricon OPC UA tunneler. So the feature of convert OPC DA to UA is a way to access data with security, right? Because let's think that any profession that know Python, let's think in this way, Python or tool that use Python can implement a library that transform the solution in an OPC UA client, right? So
Sure.
in this way, any AI solution that use Python can access the data through OPC UA in the shop floor, right? So
Gotcha.
this is the easier way to, we have helped many companies.
I understand. And in your experience, why do companies want this in the first place? Why do they want the live stream and immediate data accessibility? What is it? Why do they start these projects?
Yeah. So I'm not a data scientist, right? I studied some BI and things about how can I say data analytics, right?
Sure.
But in my understanding is that data scientists need immediate access first to happily improve the AI models, right? In the side of who developed this. Monitor the performance and debug issues. I think this is the main motivations from the side of who developed AI, right?
Sure.
And I think this how do I say, the end customer needs to provide data access to this professionals in order to how can I say first how can I how can I say this part? Let's think that companies need to ensure the access through role-based permissions. Okay, it's a way to provide the I'm gonna say the access to these data sciences, like with security, right? Also, they can implement I'm gonna say edge data storage in some point of the of the company, in order AI solutions can get data with security also, right? So.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I explained the right,
But
if
basically,
I
what
respond
I'm
to your question in the right way.
to an extent, I suspect if I could summarize what you said, is basically they need live stream data in order to affect the production in live, right? It's very important that they have the right information at the right time, and therefore this kind of zero latency, if you will, is very important. As to what the data scientists do, that's kind of a little bit outside of your specialty. But from our experience, what you've said is to increase efficiency of the production. But I think the name of the game is really cost reduction. Right? You want to increase efficiency so that you use less stuff to make more stuff faster, cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's it. Thank you.
at least
Thank you to translate.
that's how I read into it. In terms of what kind of clients do you see use these types of advanced analytics and data science in your, if I don't know if you follow up with them after you've delivered your services of connectivity and integration, but I'm suspecting that's a lot of their motivation comes from to connect, in fact, and transition to cloud is so that they can do data science and perform data science and perform advanced analytics. What types of companies do you find any commonality between them as to which companies do that in terms of size, industry, or what they produce?
Okay, we have been talking with different kind of companies that are implementing. What changes between them is the as I said in some moment, is the availability of connect with the web, right? So some of the companies, mainly in the mid-size companies, use like a database, right? So they usually connect a database with data in the shop floor, and the solutions, how can I say, the services or IoT solutions can get the data from this database in the middle. Usually the database in the IT network, right? So that's a way. So this is the mid-sized companies in different fields. Let's think that food, beverage, and I'm gonna say there is auto parts. Different companies use that. I'm gonna say the big companies also, companies that we work, many of them are using IoT services that use own sensors. The providers of IoT solutions provide their own sensors. So, but they also connect with the systems, right, when possible. So, because in these big companies also there are concerns about the security, but there's sometimes they establish some like a computer in a DMZ, like a DMZ level, in order to be the connector from the shop floor to this IoT solutions. So in the big companies, that's there's a practice like chemical, pulp and paper, steel companies.
Understood. Basically, you're saying that this type of technology is not reserved for any type of industry, and any kind of company. It would transition to cloud. You see it transitioning, whether they're mid-sized or large companies. They just typically have different routes of how they get there. And
yes, exactly. So what changes is the architecture, right? Because as I mentioned at some point that we if you understand the why, the data type that you need and the data flow, you can establish a different architecture, right? So, but I think any kind of company could use this AI cloud-based solutions.
Excellent. Okay, well, we can make a little bit of an interlude. I brought my coffee because this is called an Espresso 4.0. So I don't know if you have yours. Do you drink coffee? I'm your Brazilian. You have to drink coffee.
Yes, but I drink some later.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, it is very early. Where you're calling from. So we appreciate that you've actually tuned in without any caffeine. Congratulations on that. In terms of your business, who are your ideal clients? How would you describe them? What metrics do you use?
Could you detail? I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
Yeah, who are your ideal clients in terms of size, readiness? Where are they on this journey? What are they looking forward to solving? How do you help them? And lastly, how do you help them solve that?
Okay. Thank you. Mainly, let's think that we have been attending in Innovex. We have been attending process industries, right? Usually, continual process industries. We have customers in the batch process, like food, beverage, but main companies come from the process industries.
Sure.
I think is the most of our customers, and oil and gas, pulp and paper, steel, process industries are our main target.
Process industry, because they have a constant flow of data, and therefore they can also benefit a lot from having a good overview of it and understanding it well, suspecting. Last but not least, before we part ways for this episode, Espresso 4.0, what advice would you give to a company that's about to transition to cloud-based solutions and start doing AI or machine learning?
I think define clear goals and expectations about AI. I think this is the understanding of what are the challenges they need to solve with AI, right? Or problems that need to solve, because you can, I'm going to say, define AI solutions, as I said in some moment, for different applications, right, to solve different problems. And also you have different architecture options. So if you understand the why, maybe you can stand or approve, I'm going to say, some advanced like acceptation to connect the production to the web, or to connect authorization to change some security. So that's why I think have a very clear statement of your, I'm gonna say, of your project can help to approve the initiative of AI cloud solution, right?
Sure.
So, and another thing, specifically for providers, would be implement providers of AI cloud solutions would be implement OPC UA client in that solutions, because I think we will make easier in order to, I'm gonna say, the users accept to connect, because
Sure.
today OPC UA is inside the PLC, is inside the SCADA, is inside the MES system. So you can connect in different level if your expectation is streaming data, right? So that's my
Okay.
suggestions to the companies.
Thank you, Adriano. I intended for that to be the last question, but now as you've answered it, I've opened up two more in my head.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned that different stakeholders need to be aligned in the company, particularly when it comes to the why, as well as the cybersecurity, as well as the fact that data can be siloed in different systems, right? Different departments. Now, in your experience, who drives this alignment? Is it a person or an entire department within the company, within the client? Or is that something that you do when you start doing a project? Do you align different stakeholders? Or do you work with one person, say, head of digitalization, who is the one that's thinking of the strategy, combining all of the information, getting all of the accesses and approvals to enable you to do the connection? So how does that work? Is that internal, or is that something you provide?
So if I understand the question, in our case, usually we have a sponsor that already is leading a project of innovation, analytics, or something like that. And he or she has the challenge to connect with systems in the shop floor, right?
Sure.
So usually this is the main point that we have in our contact, is the lead of the analytics project, right? That's, if I understand.
Yeah, you did. That's exactly this.
Yeah, it's the lead, because we usually, this sponsor is responsible to, I'm gonna say, introduce the solutions. That's why usually people needs a POC, right? A proof of concept, right?
Sure.
Like recently, we just mentioned a case. We have a connection with Google Cloud. So we implement the solution in a POC, connecting with OPC UA servers. But in this specific case, customer has a restriction because he needs to have a gateway in the industrial automation network and another one in the IT network. So our two gateways to provide the data to the Google Cloud. So all the conversation was with a sponsor, right? So, and this sponsor introduced our solution to, I'm going to say, the entire team of the innovation in this case, that leads the I'm going to say, the innovation and different units of this company. So now we have potential to implement the same solution in different plants, do this approach, right?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So there is someone internally that's driving that, and that is typically the person that you're having the contact with, okay, that you're collaborating. And the second question that came to mind is that you've mentioned the different types of architecture and, even more importantly, different types of solutions that maybe mid-sized companies would prefer or more likely go with, versus the larger companies that go with more established names. So I wanted to understand in your experience, what would be the benefits of for a company to build their own tech stack using different providers of technology, different smaller providers for like Visata, Innovex, and so on, as opposed to going with, I don't know, a huge name, a giant like Siemens or Rockwell and so on? What would be some of the benefits of them
I think,
tailoring their own thing from what's available, as opposed to like, okay, I'll just go with these guys because I know them?
yeah, I think first is because these big companies are gonna say are looking for big opportunities, right? So, or big projects. So and many times the customer need to start small to understand how can I say the value of the solution. Like I said, in some point with a proof of concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and I think that companies that are as you mentioned can start with customers, some small solution, or can attend specific needs and grow with him, right? Grow with this company and the solution, right? Can deliver a solution that can, I'm going to say, deliver different benefits. So, and also can be fast to this deliver because a big company has, how can I say, different departments to approve just a change or something. You need to talk with many people inside the company to have something as the customer wants, right? So I think that's the benefit of companies like yours, like Wisata, like in the that can deliver this kind of AI solutions.
Got it. Got it. So basically, flexibility and adaptability will be some of the main drivers, and I suspect also uh, more attractive pricing often. Okay, perfect. Well, Adriano, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for sharing your experience. We love to have you at Espresso 4.0. Maybe we'll meet up for another coffee sometime in the future. And yeah, if you have any closing words, now will be the time.
Yeah, actually, I'd like to thank you for the invitation again. It's great to be here and and also talk with your audience. I hope that people can find some value in the experience that I shared. And if someone needs any information of our solution, just be in contact with us in innovexdigital.com.br,
Sure.
or it's easy to find me in LinkedIn too, right? So
That's right.
thank you very much.
Absolutely. Have a great day. Bye.
Okay, for you. Bye bye.